everyone, it's Tim Shurr, and Happy New Year! Woo! We are in 2020. We're starting a brand new decade. Do you know what that means? That means that you have the ability to create magic in your life. You have a brand new, fresh decade, the next 10 years in front of you to do something magical with it. Now, a lot of times we overestimate what we can get done in a short period of time, but we dramatically underestimate what we could get done in a longer period of time. So what I mean by that is a lot of times we have these unrealistic expectations. I want results right now. I want to lose 5 pounds in the next day, right? Or I want to make $1 million in the next 2 months, right? We put all these crazy, stressful goals. We create these vision boards of all these things that we want to have happen. And all of a sudden we find that after a couple of weeks or a couple of months, they're not happening. And then we get discouraged. We're like, well, this doesn't work. Law of attraction stuff is baloney. We're taking down our vision boards because it's making us feel depressed. It's just showing us all the stuff we don't have. And it totally sabotages us. And so what I recommend, instead of having a New Year resolution, you start a New Year revolution, where you begin to look at the end game. You start to think about what is the long-term goal that I want for myself. Not what's the goal, but what is the goal going to give me, right? Take it a little bit farther. Not what goal do I want to accomplish, but why do I want to accomplish that goal? What do I think that goal is going to give me? What do I think it's going to do for me? Who am I going to become as a result of achieving this goal? How am I going to feel? How am I going to spend my time? Who am I going to spend my time with? What am I going to be doing as a result of achieving this goal? Most people do not think that far. All they're doing is thinking 1 or 2 steps ahead. All they're doing is, how am I going to achieve this goal? They're not focusing on why I want it, right? Or if they say, well, I want it because I'll be healthier if they want to lose weight, or I want it because I'll be able to have my bills paid. But that's not really what people are wanting. What people are wanting are the emotions that come with it. A deeper sense of security, of feeling safe, a deeper feeling of freedom, of being able to live life on your terms instead of feeling like you're stuck or trapped or a prisoner of whatever situation that you're in. So we've got to change our mindset, and the best way to do that is to start from the beginning. And what I mean by that is, people will call me up all the time. In fact, I just got off the phone with someone who said, I'm interested in your services. I've read about all your stuff. It seems really exciting. Where do I start? And for a long time, I had a hard time answering that question, because I'm like, well, I've been doing this for 30 years, so where do you start? And I'm always like, well, you start by shifting your beliefs, but I got to remember that most people have no idea what that even means. Like beliefs, what do you mean beliefs? And what do you mean by shifting them? And I'm like, oh, it's a magical experience. What do you mean by magic, right? Because in general, most people just have no idea where to even start when it comes to transforming your mindset. See, your beliefs drive the way that you think. And most of the time, people are focused on trying to be more positive with their thinking. They think there's positive people and negative people, and that is so far from the truth. So what we got to do is recognize that there's a more useful way of using your conscious activity. There's a more useful, proactive way of using your thinking to drive you towards your goals and helping you to create the feelings that you want to have. And then there's an unproductive way of doing it, and that's what usually people are calling pessimistic or negative thinking. But it's really fear-based. It's fear-based or faith-based. And faith not in religion, but a faith, a belief, a hope, that a knowing that you're actually going to have what you want, right? Because that propels you forward. If you constantly tell yourself it's never going to happen, then you won't feel any energy or motivation to go after what you want, and then it won't happen. And then you'll be like, see, I told you, but it wasn't because you couldn't have it, it's because of the thinking that you were using. You were just using an approach that would move you away from what you wanted. So we've got to use more effective approaches, okay? So where do you start? You start with your mindset. So out of all the years of of helping people and coaching people over the last 30 years and studying all the different latest human performance technology and peak performance tools that are available today, I have put together a simple program that starts you at the beginning of the path to inner peace and prosperity. And it was a challenge because there's so many things that I've learned. I'm like, where do you start? Where do you begin if you're going from scratch? Now, you might be someone who is an avid student, so when I suggest what I'm going to suggest next, you're going to be like, oh, I'm in. That sounds awesome. I'm doing it, because you'll understand the power of it. But if you haven't done any of that yet, maybe you don't even know who I am if you're not following me and then you just happen to see this video, then my name's Tim Shurr and I'm a success hypnotist. I've been using hypnosis and counseling techniques for the last 25 years in private practice. I've been studying this for 31 years, and I've worked with tens of thousands of people and large companies and high-performing teams, and I've done TED Talks and written books and been on TV 60 different times and hundreds of radio shows, because I've discovered how to unlock the magic inside of you. And so many people feel like crap, so many people are riddled with anxiety, and their only approach is to take pills, which makes things worse. Pills do not change habits, right? They don't change mental beliefs, and all they do is give us more side effects that we have to struggle with. And so I've been showing people how to use the power of their mind to create their life by design for a long time. And I use hypnosis, which just means using relaxation and the power of your unconscious mind, because your unconscious mind drives 80% of what you do, probably 90% of what you do. And most of it is happening at an unconscious level, which means that you're not even aware that your brain is making decisions for you on your behalf before you even have any conscious awareness of it. Neuro researchers, people that study the brain, have found that that's the case, that your mind's making split-second decisions before you even have conscious awareness that it's happened, right? It's like if a ball comes at you, you blink real quick. You're not sitting there going, move my head, close my eyelids. You're just reacting, right? Because your brain sensed it before you consciously could. It's just reacting. Well, you have a whole series of beliefs and life conditioning that causes you to react before you even think about it. And so when people are trying to achieve goals, or they want to lose weight, or they want to have confidence, or they want to get rid of anxiety, or they want to improve their relationships, or grow their business, or have more money, or be a public speaker, or get rid of old bad habits or addictions, or whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, sports performance, whatever it is that challenges us, I've helped people to overcome it. And when you have a belief that's driving that behavior, all the positive thinking in the world won't change it. The reason that we're having fearful thoughts is because we have beliefs, which are like programs running in the computer of our brain, and these beliefs are causing the negative thoughts. They're causing you to focus on what you're afraid of. And if you just try to change your thoughts without changing your beliefs, it's like trying to cut the top of a weed off. You got to get to the root, right? You got to pull it out at the root and then plant a flower. You got to pull out the old thing, put in something new. Otherwise, the weed will just grow back. So we've got to replace it with something more empowering. And when you replace self-limiting beliefs with empowering beliefs, when you go from I can't to I can, when you go from I'm not good enough to I am good enough, when you go from I'm not worthy to I am totally worthy and deserving, when you go from I'm never going to get it to it's now here, when you're going from, you know, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not connected enough, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough resources, to I am good enough, I am smart enough, I am resourceful enough, I can make the time, I will find the resources. When you shift your beliefs, it changes what your brain pays attention to. All of a sudden, you'll notice things that you did not notice before because your brain is now tuned into it. And that is the science of success. And that's what I specialize in. That's my expertise. I've been doing this for a long time, and so I've helped tens of thousands of people. And through that, all of that practice, you know, I have a hypnosis and success coaching practice. So through all of that practice with tens of thousands of clients, I have learned the right combinations, the right techniques, the right magic phrases, the right hypnotic suggestions, the right way to shift the submodalities in your brain so that you are suddenly feeling empowered, confident, motivated. Things that felt impossible are now happening, and it feels easy and fun. That's the magic that comes from doing a program like this. So where do you start? When you want to create more inner peace, because I find that when you have inner peace, you have a foundation to come from, and everything else becomes easier and more possible. So we start with that. Most people are like, when I have more money, when I reach my health goals, when I feel good, when I have more time, then I'll work on inner peace. Guess what? It's never going to happen. That does not work. You have to focus on this now. Most people are doing it backwards, which is why most people are stressed, broke, unhappy, divorced, unhealthy, obese, sick, right? Because everybody's doing it a certain way, and that's the wrong way. You've got to rebel against what everybody else is doing. Okay, sometimes people think that when my clients are having all these breakthroughs, they're like, you're doing what? That's crazy. But my clients are the ones that are having the big breakthroughs. So I'm like, if someone thinks that you're crazy, you're on the right path, right? Because that means that you're not doing what they're doing anymore, which means you're going to get bigger, better results. And then they'll shift from thinking you're crazy to being envious, okay? Now, the goal is not to make people envious, but it happens naturally when you start becoming happier, healthier, wealthier, more peaceful, more confident, and more at ease. And so I'm going to focus on doing a lot more Facebook Live videos where I'm jumping on here for a few minutes and just teaching you one nugget a day, one golden piece of information, one insight, one tool, one strategy that you can use that will help launch you forward. But if you want to jumpstart, if you want to get started right now and have 2020 vision, then I'm going to encourage you to start participating in step 1 of this program that I put together that takes you through the process from the very beginning to build your foundation of inner peace and prosperity. And the course is called Surviving to Thriving. Surviving to Thriving. I took my courses that were thousands of dollars and I thought, what can I do to make a course that would be under $100? And when I put the Surviving to Thriving course together, it was priced at around $500, which was an awesome value for what you're going to get in it. But that wasn't under $100. So I thought, all right, what can I do with this fabulous program? Because it had all these different modules, and I thought, why don't I break it down into pieces, okay? So the first piece would be prosperity mindset, and then the second piece would be prosperity health, and then the third one would be prosperity money, and then the fourth one would be prosperity relationships, and then the fifth one would wrap it all together with inner peace, okay? And so it takes you through a step, and it's actually a 5-week course, because I wanted to put together something that would transform your life in a week, right? Transform your life in a week. What can we do to transform your life in 1 week? And so I thought, well, the fastest way to do that is find even just one self-limiting belief and upgrade it. If you can transform even just one limiting belief and upgrade it, then you're going to find that you get some pretty outstanding results just from that. As they say, if you go to a seminar and you learn just one thing, it was worth attending. And that is true, because that one thing can turn what you're focusing on. It can change what you're saying to yourself. It'll change what you're paying attention to. It'll change the behaviors that you're engaging in, the choices that you're making. It'll change the way that you're feeling. And all of that combination alters your reality and creates something new, exciting, empowering, wonderful. I've had so many clients over the years that we just sat here and they were in tears. And by the end of it, we were both in tears because they were so relieved, so full of joy, so thrilled, because they were finally feeling happy after all these years. Instead of looking back and feeling regret and feeling like they made a whole bunch of wrong choices, now they were sitting there feeling free and happy. They weren't carrying around the anger, the grudges, the frustration anymore. They had resolved whatever was going on in the past, and they were finally feeling free and happy. And when my weight loss clients would come in, the weight would magically weight off. I wouldn't even talk about eating healthy food. We would talk about shifting beliefs, and when we shifted the beliefs and created that prosperity mindset, the weight started coming off automatically. It was beautiful. I've changed my whole approach to helping people get thinner and healthier and more energized, and incorporated this belief shifting experience into it at the very beginning, because that's what produces results faster than any of the other tools that I've tried, any of the other things that I've used, any of the other stuff that's out there. Too many people are trying to change their life by changing what's going on outside of them, right? So they're trying to take pills or change their environment, or they're doing all these vision boards, or they're doing acupuncture, or they're buying supplements, or they're joining classes, which is all great. All of that is wonderful, but they're not doing any of the inner work, and the inner work is what makes the breakthroughs happen. And so we're doing all this other stuff, and it's like everybody's doing it backwards, which is why most people, if you ask them, do you feel like you're living the life that you really want? They'll usually say, yeah, right. You know, I'm stressed, I'm tired, I'm not sleeping, I got so much to do and not enough time to do it, and, I'm feeling burned out, and I'm unhappy in my marriage, and I need to lose 50 pounds, and, I'm just on and on and on, right? And so we want to do something different. So I broke them up into modules and started with prosperity mindset as the very first one, and priced it for you right now for $97. So it's under $100, right? And that's what I wanted. That was my goal, to give you something that was outstanding and keep it under $100. And so it's called Prosperity Mindset, and here's what it does. It quickly helps you to find self-limiting beliefs and upgrade them. The second thing it does is it helps you to get clarity on what it is that you want, because most people don't really know what they want. They're so clear on what they don't want, which is why they keep getting more of it. You know, whatever you focus on the most, you move towards. And so we got to make sure that you have a lot of clarity as to what you do want to experience in the months and years ahead, okay? But trust me, this program also comes with a high-powered, brand new prosperity mindset, brain software, hypnosis audio program, and that's going to make you feel good after the first listening. You're going to wake up in the next morning feeling supercharged with a new attitude. And everybody that's gone through this program so far has said, this is awesome. I love it. So many insights, so many aha moments. They really enjoyed it, and you will too. So the website link is www.surviving2thriving.me. www.surviving2thriving.me. And I'll put the link in here as well, so you can check that out. If you want to get the biggest bang for your buck this year, if you want to have sensational results, it doesn't matter what your goal is, if you want to have some truly extraordinary breakthroughs this year, then start with that program. $97, skip Starbucks this month, and use this program, and you will find yourself having an amazing, mesmerizing, sure success year. All right, so thanks so much. Enjoy your day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.